Thanks for staying with us. Sometimes it's always good to highlight some of the good news that happens in Nigeria. So in the last few days, Naira has strengthened, and it was important for us to discuss your thoughts on it. Let's hear your views on the renewed hope agenda of ensuring that our Naira is strengthened such that people can actually plan and budget. Because I remember very correctly, one of the reasons why the president or the federal government had stalled conversations with NLC concerning minimum wage, according to what I read concerning the press release by Ajurun Gulali, said that we need to have a proper strengthened Naira such that when we peg the minimum wage, it is a number that is sustainable. Because the reason why we have this lopsided or continuous review of our minimum wage is because we don't have, the Naira keeps losing value over the years. But right now, if we're able to have a stable Naira, whatever NLC and government finally agrees on minimum wage can then take people home. People can actually use that to sustain their lives for a longer period of time. So we're hoping with these new measures being taken by the federal government is sustained over time, because that's when Nigerians are scared. Can we sustain this? What are your thoughts on the Naira? What are your thoughts on Nigeria, especially when Cardoso said that, especially I saw a press release from the Central Bank yesterday saying that they are not going to accept dollar as a collateral anymore. I didn't even know that was a problem. I didn't even know people were using dollar as collaterals to get money. So they're not going to accept that anymore. They're giving them 90 days to reverse this, or there will be sanctions. So there's so many things going on out there. What are your thoughts on it? What does it mean to Nigerians? Do you even care about these strengthening of the Naira? Share your views with us close on 081 076 41679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweet. As many of you know, Your View is about ladies sharing their own views on social issues. So we'd just like to hear your own views. Also, join the conversation on the numbers on the screen. Let me start with the ladies. What are your thoughts? Naira, dollar. In fact, people are calling...
I just feel, the truth is, I feel that Nigeria, and that's why when you said we should discuss it, I said that I jumped at it, because if Naira had, if the reverse was the case, we would have been discussing it and lamenting on it every day. Surprisingly, my social media family and friends have been mute.
Quiet.
They've just been quiet. The people that were posting, dollar is now 1,007, dollar is now 1,005, dollar is now 1,000. Nobody is saying anything now. I bought dollar at 1.9. I bought at 1,650. I bought at 150. I have not bought since it became 1.2 because I've not traveled. But I traveled a lot in March. So, and because I was preparing for my trip, I had to buy, and it was painful. I am extremely happy that the policies that the government is carrying out is generating results, and we must acknowledge and say when government is doing good work, that the government is doing good work. This is good. The policies have been good. Some people might say, oh, they are only controlling demand. They're not controlling supply. They're not doing... No, this is not about whether they're controlling demand or supply. Because people were quick to yab them that they didn't know what they were doing. The president's reform has put us into problem. Businesses are folding down. You can see no business is saying that dollar is coming down. They are reducing price.
Interesting.
So, yes. No, but when the dollar was going up every day, they were like, based on the increase of dollar, we have to change our price. This price is only valid for 24 hours. This price is only valid for when dollar is remaining at this price. We are going to change our price now. We are not hearing any of that. Can we Nigerians also call out good things and celebrate good things when we see them?
Let me come to you. You're also a business owner.
Yes. So,
are you reviewing your prices? No. Go ahead.
So I believe in the renewed hope of our president. I'm one of those people that really be, and I love when they say Cardoso. If Cardoso says so, Cardoso can do so, because it's actually doing so. Yesterday I bought dollar. I changed dollar at 1,100, and I was like, "Whoa, this is good news!" Yes, and euro at 1,150. So that's super amazing. Things are changing, but then we should also. It will take a while for things to stabilize. Yeah. Because I want to believe that by next week, Cardoso would also bring it down to maybe 1,000 or 900. I'm hoping so that maybe they can peg it at. I know you said, Morayo, you said 900, but I'm hoping that they can peg that.
Let me build on that a bit, because Nigerians are hoping for a magic wand. Cardoso is not going to do that. We are the ones to do that by buying Nigerian, producing Nigerian, exporting Nigerian. And when we do that, we begin to strengthen. So Cardoso, yes, Cardoso says so, Cardoso can do so. But we Nigerians, we also have our own part to play. Let me come to you, Dami. What are your thoughts on this?
I think for me, like you said, I'm going to tilt towards your angle because Nigerians are the problem of Nigeria itself. Nigeria as a country, I don't see it as a problem. But we Nigerians created the enormous problem we are trying to solve by force. And if we look at, okay, like I'm a business owner, I do sales of perfume. I remember that about a few months back, I stopped during 1.9. And now the dollar is 1.1. I'm in a fix. Am I losing about how many Naira? Two, because most of those stocks have not ended. You understand? And I now have to buy new stocks again. How do I now tell my customer that this that was worth 25,000, I want to sell it at 15,000? Then how would that 25,000 come to 15,000? It means that I'm ready to part with that 10,000 Naira difference, which is usually the problem of Nigerian business owners, because I have purchased at a higher price already. Now dollar is falling. But on the other hand, it's win some, lose some. There are some days that you even have more profit for something little. You understand? So I think that business owner can also find a way around. Yes, we'll win some, we'll lose some. Let's find a middle ground to say, let us be considerate to each other. Because sometimes it's not this government in connotation that is coming to patronize us directly. It is we fellow Nigerians, our neighbors, our cousins, brothers and sisters. So the empathy is for we to ourselves. Then that's where the government can pick it up.
Something that's also interesting that, people have come out to say that, oh, some stations have come out to say dollar will be 1,000, 2,000 Naira to the dollar. Some have come out to say that it can never get to 400 Naira to the dollar. We have so many experts talking, and I'm just thinking, okay, can we stop waiting for some magic to happen and realizing that we have a stake in this conversation? I also want to link the conversation to Airpeace. Airpeace recently launched. And I was hearing reports that some other competing airlines are trying to reduce their prices.
They started even reducing.
They started reducing their prices. We like the competition, but Nigerians also, I think, in part of we need to be responsible to patronize intentionally, even if it's more expensive.
Because that dollar is not going to go.
Yes. So I think in talking to ourselves, if we want to help this Naira to strengthen, we must all say, carry face and say it's Airpeace or nothing.
Yes, exactly.
We almost, as Nigerians,
we'll have to. Our decision will form them to conform to what we want. It's not like they will also just sway us around.
What she's even saying is the loyalty to your country. Because your patriotism. Because even as you want the government policy to work, we have our own part to play. The CBN, over the past 1 year, I've had to send $160 million to Emirates Airline. Because the reason Emirates stopped from Nigeria was because they couldn't repatriate their funds. And they are not coming back until they've gotten their funds. Now, it cost us a lot of money to send that money to them. But who paid the money to Emirates? Us. If Airpeace is going to Dubai, why don't we go? If they can go. So by the time we realize the impact, which is why we're doing this show, it's educational. So when you understand that if you pay I won't mention other global airlines, if you pay other global airlines to go to London when you could have paid Airpeace, it means that we are spending pounds or dollars when we could be spending Naira,
which is our own.
It saves us that money. It also means that every time you make a choice to buy items, and Morayo is always calling us out. Oh, we have the case. We want to have.
I have been calling out middle class, and they said it is middle because we are the ones that have this choice, this taste. The woman on the street doesn't care if you are eating local. She's eating her food. It is you and I that are going to the supermarkets to buy burgers, buying all these foreign things. We have the problems.
And from from TV, my children have been shouting. They want to eat sandwich. They want cheese and kiliko. I say, David and Daniel, cheese and it's not Nigerian food. I will buy you yam. I will buy you sweet potato. You will take fruits. But all those imported ones, no more.
My children gave me
English. It's not healthy.
My children gave me list when I was going to
class.
What was
inside the list?
But you know how kids, I've already told them that we're not buying clothes outside the country because there's no point buying clothes outside the country.
Absolutely.
So they knew that I'm not going to buy them clothes. But they now gave me food. Guess what? They now took pictures of foreign chocolates and snacks and chips and everything I wanted to buy. They now said, this is what they want. I was going to the store to be looking for it. I said, Morayo, they are Nigerian versions now. What is all this nonsense? Because I was really struggling. What should I buy? What can I buy? And look, I don't have it in Nigeria. I will buy. But most of the things I could find it in Lagos. Is it Cadbury brands? Is it Nestle brands? They are in Lagos. I didn't bother.
We now buy.
It's just something that grew with us unconsciously. Yes. Now we are grown. We are now realizing that we've made the mistake from the inception. Yeah. Because sometimes it's a thing of status. To me, the way I say, like, oh, if you're not buying this brand and this brand, just the way some of our families are heavy on brands. Yeah. I know that when we were growing up, there was a certain type of beverage we drink. And if you are going this beverage, like, no, you are going for inferior, which is both Nigerian, both Nigerian brands. So sometimes we discover that we were the ones that grew the taste of our children unconsciously with wanting to give them these frivolities of life. We might say it's frivolities, but it's big for them. Now that we want to redirect, it's now a challenge for us because we are meeting our own self at the junction.
We are honestly, so I mean, as Tokwe said, one of the reasons why it's important for us to have these conversations, because it's one thing to say, government is doing this. Yes. But it's another thing to see what can I do to participate. Exactly. I think it was the president that was saying that we all must rebuild Nigeria together. All of you, pick your own chunk of clay and start molding Nigeria you want. Exactly. Start molding that, because I was really pained. You know, when I was coming in the other day from the airport, I've not traveled in a long time. I'm not one of those very people that have not traveled in a while. And recently I started traveling, and I'm seeing the airport, the newly reconstructed airport, for the first time in a while. I'm like, I didn't see this on social media. Nobody told me. I mean, it's not it's not totally world class, because I've been to other nations. Yes, it's nice, but I could enter Nigeria. I could read the signages. First of all, I could feel the air conditioner in the tunnels, which was great. I didn't used to do that back then. I didn't feel that back in the day. Just air conditioner in the tunnels. There were modern tunnels. And then you see the signages for transfers, for baggage claim. You see the glass sections. You see the chairs. And I'm thinking, this is Nigeria. Like, hey, this didn't go viral. The immigration received me, told you to line up. In fact, I was upset with one of the ladies behind me, because we were lining up at the immigration, and they were taking their time checking. And it took me, I was like in line for about 15 minutes. And the woman was already complaining, what are they doing? They're wasting our time. I'm thinking, we're coming from Paris. And we stayed. We waited in line. Yes. We stand. We conformed. Now you're in Nigerian soil. You're already complaining that they're wasting your time. 15 minutes, you're already complaining. Because there are hundreds of us in the plane.
Well,
but they were really, please.
Go ahead, Amaka.
Okay. I also think that made in Nigerian companies should also put in a little bit of money in terms of advertising. I don't think we're doing a lot in that. For example, I'm happy with Airpeace on how they pushed. This one. But they're heavy on it. But they were not doing that with their Dubai flight. I didn't even know that Airpeace used to go to Dubai. That was 2 years ago when I missed my Emirates flight, and then I was at the airport and I had to get on another flight, and almost immediately, and someone said, oh, Airpeace at the new airport actually goes to Dubai. I said, oh, I didn't know Airpeace goes to Dubai. And I quickly rushed to the new airport, and that was my first time using the new airport. It was fantastic. I said, so this kind of thing is even in Lagos, it's in Nigeria. And I went to Airpeace and I bought the tickets, like,
it was far cheaper.
Far cheaper. I just said, please, Emirates, give me back my money. Don't do. Thank you.
I'll not do again.
And the funny thing was that I was the only person in business class. Nobody, the way they served me, I told them it's enough. I don't want any more. And I kept telling them, how come nobody, you guys are so good. How come the treatment I got to Dubai, they had the service waiting for me. I said, how come nobody knows about this? I started doing videos and posting for them and trying to help them create awareness. And I said, but even so, after that, when I even met Onyema, I said, you people need to push the brand more, and I'm really happy with how they do that. So same goes to
the Lagos
companies too, in terms of
the Lagos-London route is very important, because many Nigerians, London is like going to Ikeja.
London is the nearest Lagos.
It's a huge market. So that was why the publicity was really good. But I think what we should get from this conversation is that regardless of the expenses, we Nigerians must be intentional in picking Nigerian brands, even the clothes we wear. We are talking about air flight. We're also talking about clothes. The clothes we're wearing, all of us.
To shop abroad now, because I'm like, when I get back to Busayo will so better. I don't need all of this. But Smart will do a good job. Like, what am I even doing? But I want to go back to what you said concerning the improvement that we see in government. I will tell you, I'm a frequent traveler in my small way, and I have seen improvement in the immigration service. I've seen improvements in. I saw it it was so impressive that I had to tell them that. Even my husband was like, you guys, I don't know what did they change your system?
Overhauling.
Whatever was done was done. there was a difference. And I think that we should always, as we call out bad, let's take the time to celebrate the good. And I'm so grateful to God that I informed every one of them that this is good. And they all said that they are happy, that I was the first person that was even highlighting it to them. And many people were not doing, they just walked past. When it's good, you walk past. When it's bad, you do video and play. Let's also
talking about the immigration, the uniforms were clean,
crisp,
they were courteous, they will greet you, they will welcome you. How was your stay? And I'm like, I was even shocked.
I think the kudos should actually go to the minister.
I can't hear anybody.
I think the kudos should actually go to the minister, because since Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo assumed duty or assumed office, there's been some radical change. I've seen videos and pictures of him just walk into immigration office unexpected, unannounced, to actually see what they do firsthand. But a lot of times that probably some of our leaders, they just felt like what they portrayed to us was like, well, they will do the job, let's be here. But now that we see practical leaders moving on to sites, to use their eyes to visualize. You can't be telling me that everything is fine. Let me not be able to go there and see that all is fine. So I think we have to also credit the minister for that particular initiative, because he's gone
absolutely
round.
Correct, Damila, absolutely correct. So it starts from the head. The leaders must show exemplary leadership. But going back to CBN, if Cardoso says so,
Cardoso can do so.
Hey, I love that jive.
I think that's a lot of
Cardoso says so, Cardoso can do so. Go and sell your dollar. If you are keeping dollar, you're holding dollars. I got somebody, people were calling. I know somebody who was calling from the US saying, please, the dollar, please, let me go and sell it, because they've lost money already. They're thinking, sell it out, because I need to, let me have it in Naira. And that just gladdened my heart, that I would rather keep your money in Naira than in dollar, at least for now. But the problem is sustainability. Cardoso, I hope, and our federal government, I hope our president are able to sustain this whole thing. But let me let you take a few comments and we wrap up on this. Go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to, let me take the comments. Let me not say what is in my mind. But I feel that they can drive the change that we want to see. They can. And we will all support them to do it. Aderonke says that, but there's inflation everywhere and there's no increase in income. So I hear the people are still, we're now picking on other areas. We're celebrating the dollar, just the dollar. This one, let's talk about it. Yes, more exports and less importation is the only way to strengthen the Naira. The prices of commodities should be adjusted to after the US dollar don't crash.
So talk about prices, guys. It's nobody, federal government cannot tell Damila to change her prices. Damila will have to want to look at her goods and say, okay, how is it? So it's an individual thing.
Government cannot tell. We can tell them. Because Computer Village was reflecting prices per hour. Like if you want to buy a phone, you go to Computer Village in the morning and they'll tell you by afternoon, dollar is now 1,800. They changed their price. That if I sell this one now, how do I buy another one? But why are we not reflecting per hour the prices of items? I know it has come down a bit. So the truth is, it's not everywhere that can be immediately, that can implement immediately. But I know that in Computer Village, my husband operates there, IT products have reduced in price based on this. So let's not, it might not affect those that have imported. If, let's say BC that imported hair now, that paid that much for importing hair. She can't change her price until after there's a new...
Lagos too.
Yes, you have to sell off the stock.
Sell off the stock. That's exactly what I said, because I have products I bought in 1.9. Am I losing?
As we are feeling for you, Nigerians, if you also are, if you are selling off old stuff, don't sell it at new dollar rates. That's unfair. Don't sell old stock on new dollar rates.
We're going to be wrapping up on this, but I think it's a good thing that hopefully, indeed, the policies the government has put in place, we're seeing the results. We're hoping it to be sustained. We're hoping that they are able to go after the racketeers, and and ensure that they don't manipulate and even truncate the process that we're already seeing. Because the truth is that Nigerians will be really happy if the Naira is strengthened. And hopefully that will have a ripple effect on our economy. Jobs will be created. People can now plan properly. And I was even told that many of the goods that were banned have been lifted because they want everybody to come to the banks for transactions. So before there was certain goods that were banned. But now, bring your goods in, but to go and buy it, come to us, come to the bank, come through the books. Let us see how you're transacting. And that's why somebody was telling me that it was so difficult for him to buy because he was trying to import some goods. And he said that he had to go, in fact, they insured the process. He was really, really surprised that
Even
that they had
transferring
become
school
all
fees.
the yes.
People were
they were paying-
lamenting they could not transfer school fees, but now that you are able to transfer school fees, nobody is
So
saying
CBN, I think the government is paying directly.
yes.
Yeah.
They're not giving you the money anymore.
Yes.
The government is paying for you.
Yes.
So that's the process. And Nigerians don't like process. We like to go through the back door and do it ourselves. And they're not allowing that anymore. But we have to wrap up. But I think what's crucial for us is that let's buy Nigeria. Let's wear Nigeria. Even if all the airlines are cheaper, please let us be intentional about buying Nigerian airline because we need to support a Nigerian brand, regardless of all the other issues.
We need to go back to that giant of Africa.
Giant. When I was flying, when I went to Turkey, everywhere Turkish airline. I'm like, what's all this nonsense? Everywhere Turkish airline. There's one other airline I was seeing. Okay, what's all this nonsense? We can do better. We can do better. Nigerians can do better. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, move on to the next segment of our show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will